freedom in front of me. So I will start on this day. The rise of kingdoms to come, and we will no longer be named by the weather above. So rain down all you want, but our power is in the sun. And when our planets do align, our nation will become victorious.
Let it be, all that weakness, rest in peace. I learned about the recipe when I was younger, recklessly. Now I'm chasing the glory, gonna be fine. Working so hard, matter of time. Never give up, how we define. Taking my chances, breaking a climb. I'ma show them how it's done. On the top level we run. For Osiris, for my son. We show up and pack a punch. This is war, we step up, we gon' never fold. This is legacy, they gon' know me when I go.
So rain down all you want, but our power is in the sun. And when our plans do align, our nation will become victorious. Swords where you stand and spit upon the ground. But when those horns sound off, pray to the Lord, you've been righteous now. I say rain down all you want, but our power is in the sun. And when our planets do align, our nation will become victorious.
This is war, we don't stop, what's in store, where we start, we deploy. They don't wanna see us win, so we gon' show them all the voice. To the top, we enjoy, when my partners don't avoid. Want the glory, silence noise, here for life, made a choice.
The smoke clears the air. I'm the only one standing. The darkness lifts. There lies the freedom in front of me. So I will start on this day. The rise of kingdoms to come, and we will no longer be named by the weather above. So rain down all you want, but our power is in the sun. And when our planets do align, our nation will become victorious.
Let it be, all that weakness, rest in peace. I learned about the recipe when I was younger, recklessly. Now I'm chasing the glory, gonna be fine. Working so hard, matter of time. Never give up, how we define. Taking my chances, breaking a climb. I'ma show them how it's done. On the top level we run. For Osiris, for my son. We show up and pack a punch. This is war, we step up, we gon' never fold. This is legacy, they gon' know me when I go.
So rain down all you want, but our power.
Welcome, everybody. Anthony with the Bowl Burritos and my boy, joined by my boy Redline. Oh, buddy, man, it's been a day already, and we are already about to dive into our next match, which is OV versus VC56, buddy. What? How you doing? I know you just came off your late last minute victory in TR. So, dude, we saw that, and I know that they cast it on the official Rise of Kingdoms channel. But brother, how have you been? Are you excited for today's matches? Are you muted, Red? Check your mic. Hold on. Is he muted? No way he's muted. No way, gang, that you're muted, brother. Did you mute your mic from the mic? I thought you did. Oh my goodness. Hold on, chat. He shouldn't be. Now y'all have me all in it. Hold on. Uh... Oh, brother, you're throwing me off right now. Hold on. There's no way he's muted. How is he muted? Yeah, I hear you too. Hold on. Very handsome. Dude, there's no way. How is he muted? Yeah, I hear you. What is going on, guys? He's cute, even muted. He's not muted on my stream, guys. Chat real quick, Red. Yeah, Skype, it's pulling in. Yeah, bro. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to have to bring this back up, guys. Give me 1 second. Because I hear him on my side, but I don't know why it's not coming through. Scrub line? Oh, Lord. All right. Give me 1 second, chat. We're going to switch this over. All right. Let me see if I have to. All right, so we got a match, minute and 15. Chat, y'all let me know if y'all can hear Red. If not, then I'm going to drop him out of the call and bring him back in and see if that brings it back up. All right, Red. So we got OV, VC56. What are your initial thoughts, Red? Okay. Okay, they can't hear you real quick, Red. I'm going to call you right back. Give me 1 second. Sorry about the technical difficulties, guys. Oh, that's loud. Let's see if it brings up. Think silence, OV, OV. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear him. If y'all can't hear him, then yeah. Smile in pain. No. Okay. I let's blame. No, y'all can blame me, guys. All right, give me 1 second. We're gonna flip into the match real quick, and I'm gonna see Red. Let's hop on a Discord call, and then we'll just do a voice on that. Okay. All right, chat. Give me 1 second. Let's hop in this match. We got 15 seconds. Red, I'm gonna get off this call real quick. Okay. Sorry about the technical difficulties, guys. Let me see if we can just get them in through here. All right. Chat, can y'all let me know if y'all can hear him now? Oh, you know what it is? Hold on. I know what it is. All right, now talk, Red.
Testing, chat. David, what's up? Hyber, Baz, Jar, Mitch, Sir Loy. Can you guys hear me? Test.
Bro.
Yes.
Finally? Okay, I know what it was, chat. Nub. Y'all are more than welcome
Let's go.
to shame me in the chat.
Let's go.
It's because we're in KVK right now, chat, and so I'm muted on my beacon. I have the voice chat being hidden on the stream. So sorry, y'all can blame me. Call me a noob. I apologize, chat. I apologize. So
I was smiling in silence.
Yeah, he was smiling in silence. You know, oh my God. All right, Red, let's get back on the call and we'll just do that real quick. All right, brother.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh my God. Sorry about that, chat. Holy smokes. Holy smokes, dude. Apologies for that. New burritos, yes.
Hello, Boba. Hello.
All right, y'all let me know if y'all can hear the beautiful Red again, guys.
Hi, guys.
So tell me your initial thoughts, Red, on what this is going to be the third time that they've played each other in this season. So kind of touch real quick on those teams that you think, you know, the more you play them, does it actually help you? Does it hurt you? Like, what are your initial thoughts?
So you mentioned a great point. This is not their first time seeing each other face to face, and they had the most recent match in the group stages, and it was a really close game. And looking at the score from the last match they played, it was, my God, I think it was less than about 600 points. So the more times you play against each other, the thing you have to, they adapt, right? The losing team mostly adapts. The winning team kind of fixes, like, you know, the little nuances that they could improve on. And the more you play, the better each team gets, especially against one another. And I'm gonna call it. It's gonna be a 50-50 match. Like I don't know. In terms of the bets, a lot of people are favoring OV to win. I mean, they have the experience, but VC56 is definitely putting a staple on right now. And I don't know, Bobo, who's going to take this win. I mean, the community thinks it's OV based on the betting, but I think it's anyone's game, man. It's gonna be a doozy.
Yeah, and I know that we've had this kind of conversation before where it was like the fact that this is the third time that these teams are playing each other, and both of the matches that they played were within 3,000 points, which is insane. I think only proves the point that we are going to probably come down to the very wire between these two teams, and I'm very excited to see it. But as we dive into the match, we got hard push getting played on both sides. Very interesting combinations coming out. You know, you just finished coming through the match. You know, let me know. Are there some meta changes that you're seeing coming through? Garrison's changes, is it making that big of a difference in your opinion, or what are your initial thoughts on the field?
I mean, you know, just from the recent matches, you know, a lot of teams are using Jan now as garrisons. You know, like and it's been working really well. And I think for both these teams, VC and OV, they have amazing players on both sides with a lot of experience. And I feel like all the basic fundamentals for at this level now, majority of teams have truly, you know, excelled at them. Now it's really about, okay, what strategy can we do to one? It's either going full on arcs, or focusing on occupation. And I really think that it's going to come down to the timing. Like timing is the meta. Like you getting the timings right, you win the game. And I really think that we're going to see a lot of unique styles from these teams to I guess be unique and think outside the box.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see some of the strategies coming in with especially with provisioning, which once we start getting to the nitty gritty and down to those top 8, top 4, you know, type teams, it's really like pulling hairs at that point. So skill usage, like such as insatiable desire, stuff like those, and understanding the concept. We found out that a lot of people didn't realize with insatiable desire, once it's popped, you actually have to hop out of the nodes and hop back in for them to actually take effect. So,
yep.
You know, and it came down to the wire. I know with the last cast with TR and 84OF. So I'm very interested to see. Both of these teams are very, very good in their own right. These mid brawls should be very intriguing, and definitely the garrisons I'm keeping my eyes out for, because Jan has been all over the place. But we are still seeing some Zenobia. So Yeah, and we got what 2 minutes red before these altars and shrines opened up. What are you looking for these teams right off the break off?
The desert ultra pushes, man. Like these, both teams are going aggressive on these ultra pushes. And like right now, if we're looking on the left side of the map, Slouty is already has his Jadwiga up already. But look how fast OV got to that altar. Like it's gonna, oh man, like I think it's gonna come down to who gets first occupation. Both popped hard push. So they're definitely both being aggressive on these, and who's gonna see who's gonna take these altars first. Like, but the positioning for both is great already.
Yeah, and I definitely love what I'm seeing so far. Like it's a typical break off where you see the altars for the opposing side pushing pretty deep on one side and then playing fairly defensive. So as we start to see the battle starting to ensue, we got about a minute left before these altars and shrines are going to open up, and then it's going to be an all out brawl today. And you know, I hope y'all are excited for these casts, ladies and gent and rockers out there. You know, red pulling out a Caesar earlier. You know, what interesting combos are you kind of noticing, or you're looking for red for the open field now?
So to the community listening now, and to you, Boba, that combination is something that I would definitely avoid for any open field fighting. Quick thing on that, you know, I thought that March was in a rally, you know, because you know, when you fill a rally, you usually do double leadership to fill it up, right? Unfortunately, I guess I selected all marches to go when thinking that was in a rally. So that, you know, don't use no Caesar no Barca in the open field, especially in mid arc. And I doubt we'll see that in the middle, Boba, today with BC and OV.
Yeah, and what's going to be awesome to see is I'm interested to see if OV or VC are going to pull out any sort of unique strategy. Most of the teams that we see usually will pull out something different around top 8. Like they're really not going to show all their cards. But with a competition like this being the way that it is, man, you really are having to pull out all the stops if you really do want this win. And the desert altar opens up. OV sneaking in, getting 3 of the 4 as of right now. And yeah, we're almost at rotation red. So what are the guys looking for?
Look at here, look at OV was able to get, you know, first touch on the sky altar to the top right, like, and that was a CC. So like right now, it looks like everyone is holding their respective structures now. I mean, OV, sorry, VC was able to touch the Shrine of Life first. So like right now, it's all pretty fairly even, as you can see. Also, see Jans, everyone's using Jan now. So like that combination right here has definitely really held well against the Swarms, especially. So I'm seeing what other teams are doing now. Nothing unique at the moment, but I'm really going to see over in the next 1 or 2 minutes, everyone's going to start moving to mid, if that's the play for both teams.
Yeah, and I like how he says "if," right? Because we got some teams out there that completely chalking that first arc to go in that structure game, and the TR match was one of those, and they did an absolute beauty of a job switching over that first occupation for a bunch of those structures. It's very interesting to see the same thing. It looks like we're going to be nilled up 2 altars and 2. But yeah, these mid brawls were very, very intense last time. The last couple of matches that they had, each switching over respectively and taking some for each side. But yeah, as we look, got a little Guan garrison over here.
And
in the
look at the
altar.
top right of the screen, Boba. It's all red. VC has it all red.
Yeah.
VC's being aggressive on these structures, man. Doing a really good job at putting OV in the defensive side here, taking their structures. And right now, I just see Baba TC's Jadwiga go into that enemy desert altar. Unfortunately, it was taken back by OV, but very good aggression on the VC side.
Yeah, and we're getting close to that 5-minute mark, which is typically around the time that we're going to start rotating towards mid. And I know OV, having the history that they have, they are very good in mid. And VC are bringing the heat in their own right. So we're definitely going to keep our eyes on that. I've been noticing a little bit of a shift in mid game, some of the marches now with the new Joan Prime coming out. I know that y'all went up against a bunch of Jones in mid game for that second arc, and they looked like they got absolutely squished. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see the different combinations that we're going to see in mid game. What are kind of your feel on kind of the best marches that you would ideally like to see in mid game for these fights?
I mean, for me, the marches that I normally use in the mid, again, it's all about buff marches, high damage. So you're gonna see a lot of XY Williams. You're gonna see a lot of Nevsky Jones. You're gonna see Guan Scipios, a lot of Trajans, and I'll tell you right now, Trajans are definitely a must-have in the middle because they buff all your other marches. So you definitely see a lot of those combinations, but you will not see a Caesar and Barca. Um, so that's the key into the mid, and just coordination is in the mid because a lot of these teams now they're very coordinated and they're very, I guess, like in KVK, murder ball is key to wiping out the marches. You have to be very strategic in how you target marches and timing. So right now, looking at mid, VC is definitely grouping up and they're getting there earlier than OV is. And there's 303 minutes, 30 seconds left in the match. So my thoughts is, what's OV going to do here? Are they going to go for arc or are they going to just go heavy on structures? And right now, I know VC is going heavy for arc right now. What do you think?
Yeah, that's something definitely that is very interesting. Usually OV isn't the one that's usually late. They're usually the one that's posturing forward. But I am also interested to see, because usually VC, when you invest decently early to coming in, you're going to do what they're trying to do right now, which is you usually want to posture forward to force your opponent to have to push through you. But they decided to park on the back side. Actually, they're going to stick to the left, which sometimes works. It sometimes doesn't. Ideally, when you're charging in, you have the opportunity at some point with some of these marches kind of going around this top side, as opposed to, and it kind of splits the force. But I do like what I'm seeing from OV. They're being very, very patient with their push. There's no need for them to have to push in right now. Got 2.5 minutes. Around the minute and a half mark, you'll probably start to see them push through, and that's when the mid brawl is going to happen. But like you were saying, we're going to keep our eyes on those structures on the outside because VC is doing very, very well, as they did in the previous matches on occupation, and it was really the mid game that separated OV and VC. So I'm excited. The emojis are starting to fly. Mid game is about to ensue, and Red, we are about to see an absolute bloodbath in the middle.
Oh, it's gonna be a bloodbath. And looking at the mid right now, it looks pretty even. Looks like VC is trying to bait out some skills or trying to bait something out from OV, but OV's experienced, man. They know what to do, what not to do. And as we're talking here, it looks like OV definitely has players committed to still working on structures. On the top right, the Sky Altar was taken from VC. So you do have some players committed to taking structures, as well as the Shrine of Life on the VC6 side has been taken as well. So there's some points shifting here, and the points per minute is 590 to 360 in favor of OV. So they got some people committed, and there's no rallies coming from the VC side. So they might have more players in the mid. And now with that, Boba, they're engaging with the skills being popped.
Yeah, War Drums coming in from both sides. Mystical should be getting popped from both sides, as we see it right there. The mid brawl is going down, and it looks like we are seeing a fairly, significant amount. Your typical breakoffs, like we were saying with your XY. I just saw an XY Trajan, very interesting, from OV. Get those popped going on, and let's look at these sad faces. Let's see who's about to take this first arc. Y'all let us know in the chat, guys, who y'all think is going to pull this first arc.
And looking also at the troop marches that are coming in, because usually the first arc, there's still people that are still in the, I guess, home camp, if you want to call it, that have not teleported forward. So both sides definitely have players still coming in to support this mid fight. And looking at the mid, it looks like VC might have this one. Well, if I scroll out with the little red dots, it looks like there's more red there. But we'll see who comes out with this on top with 20 seconds left on the timer for the arc to appear.
Yeah, and the beauty of coming first, and like we were talking about with VC56, when they started moving up, is it clears this path on the back side of the arc for your arc runner to come in attempt to get a pull. OV is noticing that, and they are starting to attack the arc runners that potentially could pick it up as the arc is about to spawn, and we see the indicators of people trying to pick it up. It really is important for you to grab this arc on the backside to mitigate the amount of wasted time. And as we say that, OV grabs with the pool, but they're losing the field. Look, so many sad faces, but he is attempting to run that arc, Red.
So OV definitely got the pull, but VC definitely has a lot more numbers. Now, what is the play? Keep sending mid or focus on structures? And looking at the marches coming from the cities on OV side, it looks like they still have people committed to the mid. So the question is that the right play? And also, Boba, as we're saying that Obelisk is taken on the V6 side on the top side as well. So is that something that VC is going to try to take back, because that's teleports are missing, and that prevents people from teleporting up. So there's a lot of factors coming into play right now.
Yeah, it's one of those calls you kind of have to make sooner than later, but it looks like VC is already progressing forward on the map. So it looks like OV is kind of going to concede this first arc after that initial fight. The obelisk is a very interesting one right now. We're going to look. I think Baba was about to swarm it. Yeah, it was a little XY rally coming through.
Yeah, you're
so
not keeping that with Baba sitting next to you.
So that's going to get flipped. And as we say that, VC56 now running the first arc back. Let's check this point. Yeah, the points per minute right now, double in favor of OV. So they are, like you were saying, focusing on structures now, trying to mitigate the cost of this first arc, which is going to be worth 3,000 points, Red.
Yep, exactly. And they did a good job, because now, they're widening the gap. I mean, it makes this first arc less hurt in the points category, because as you said, 590 to 340, and OV now they definitely shifted the structures. But GG's the VC on that first arc pull, because I believe both groups popped the same skills at the same time. So the skill points will still be the same. So I'm assuming we'll probably see skill to the death in the next arc.
Yeah, and this is where the interesting situation. I know I see some already talking about it in chat, and I would love to kind of hear just your general opinion on it. But when people capture the arcs, right, we are seeing a lot more teams holding on to arcs and really making them into 2 arc games.
Yeah.
In this kind of situation, do you think that VC, based on what we've seen in previous matches, should focus on getting more arcs in this match, or do you think that they can get away with the 2 arcs?
Well, with how VC performed in the first round of the arc, my suggestion would be is to hold it until your building stabilize, because you control the tempo now when the next arc comes up. So it's really for VC, I would go for another arc and possibly make it a 3rd arc game, because OB structure game is really strong. So I definitely would go for it. It just holding on to a point where, okay, everyone's set, buildings are stabilized, let's make a push.
Yeah, and I really do agree with you on that one. I know with OV, it's kind of like playing with fire, right? Because at some point they'll probably win one of the arcs. It's just a matter of, do you think you can beat them in occupation with only 2 arcs? And I'm fairly confident that one of the previous matches between these two, it was 2 arcs and it came down to provisions, and then that was actually how VC lost. So I'm interested to see if they're going to switch it up a little bit and make this a 3 arc game. And that's definitely something for us to keep our eyes on for sure.
Yeah, I think the play would be for VC to do a 3 arc game, because they definitely did a really good job in the mid. And then again, like right now, as we said, that the Sky Ultra for VC on the top side has gone to OV. They have tons of numbers up there, so they're definitely committing a lot more members to that specific lane. So their definitely focus is to continue to hold that and mitigate any of the differences between the 2 from the arcs if they lose one.
Yeah, and I do notice that the garrisons are very similar to the last match that they had, where everybody just had a bunch of gens. Like, there were no Zenobias in sight. Everybody was using the Zika meta coming in, and this, it mitigate the swarm, and that's where I would say that it's a little bit of a shift that we've subtly been seeing. And I think as we go deeper into the tournament, closer to the championship, we're going to start seeing some different garrisons, especially with all those new commanders coming out for sure.
Exactly. Jan has done really well, because especially in arc, right? Cavs are the fastest marchers in the game. So having Jan up there and then sending fast Cavs up to your structures, it definitely is a game changer in terms of holding structures or getting the timer down. So like, we're definitely going to see a lot of changes, but Jan right now is the meta that people are utilizing in arc.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. I thought they had captured it when I looked at the timer, it turned white, but they've just been dropping the arc, and They're still sending. It's kind of weird. They're still sending some marches from the top to go and try to slow this down, which is an interesting play. But they should be. Well, you can never at this rate in the game say that it should be safe because we've seen so many sneaks.
No, yeah, it's never safe,
We've
man.
seen so many sneaks.
Like if you think about it, like right now in the top side trying to award,
Mhm.
OV is definitely pushing that side. So like I think for the person holding the arc now, I just probably go to the outpost because it's so much closer and just score it immediately. And if I'm looking at the rally screen, does OV have any rallies on that outpost? I'm
They do not.
looking, they do not. Okay. So they're definitely just they're just trying to delay it. But with the time left, it could if OVs continue to contest this arc from being scored, it could be a 2 arc game.
And that might actually be the play. You know what I mean? It might not be a play to try to get the arc as much as we would love to, but it prevents them from trying to hold it if they think that they would actually just insta cap this. And
Yeah.
I do like this because it's delaying it a little bit. More often than not, when you do hold the arc, it's holding it and you're getting to around the 30-minute mark. So we're at 38 minutes left. It's going to be interesting to see if VC just goes ahead and just captures that arc. But the field pressure from VC is very, very impressive thus far in the open field.
I completely agree. They're doing a really good job contesting OV. And with the structure game too as well. So the map is pretty even, but in points per minute, it's still in favor of OV at 590. Up, as I said, that 590 to 290. So OV took another structure. They took the other altar on the left side.
Yeah, and that's what makes this arc so important, especially for VC. Because if OV would have won that first arc with the points lead that they have currently right now in occupation, you know, we'd be looking at a 4K deficit on the side of VC. But instead, because of the arc capture, it will actually put them up by 1,000 points. So the power of the arc and what it can do for your team. But I am going to be very interested to see what they do, and we'll be keeping our eyes on whether they're going to hold it. We do see a rally coming in. Yeah, they got a little nervous over there when he saw the rally on the obelisk. Yeah, he was shaking in his boots a little bit, but yeah, man, it's going to be an absolute barn burner from what we're looking at right now.
So right now, if you look at the arc carrier, they're going to hold it. So is the play for them to hold it and make it a 2 arc game, or hold it to reset? Like, because I would assume they would turn it in now and just prepare for a next push because the building's technically half stabilized. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do here, because this decision could be really critical on what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and as we're seeing it right now with structure game, if it was me and you were in this and we were in this situation, I think that they're waiting for the marches to progress a little bit on the field, because the structures are pretty much tied up. It's two altars. You know, we just see another one flip over right now, and as we say that, the arc has been captured.
There we go.
No wasted time. They progress forward on the field, which is what we wanted to see. Now the timing should lend very well to them forward marching, killing the marches off on structures, trying to neutralize, and then it allows them to rinse and repeat and really get that timing down for sure on the side of VC.
Yeah, that timing was actually perfect because, as we said, that all 4 altars were at one point about 5 seconds ago in position of VC. So not with the arc, but now they have the points per minute game from occupation. So good job to VC on that. It's a close game though, still almost 600 points only. They'll widen the gap a little bit with these altars, but it's going to come down to that third arc because we have 7.5 minutes left until the next arc pops up. So there's definitely going to be a third one.
Yeah, and it's interesting to watch VC. It's like there's a little switch that they flick on and flick off when it comes to occupation, because like a switch, they just flipped over the points per minute are completely flipped on its head now. It was 560 to 290, and now it's still 440 to 290. But all these altars are starting to switch over. But the timing of the switch is very intriguing because we got 7 minutes left. Like I said, it comes down to timing. They neutralized it. Their marches are coming back dead because the fastest march is a dead march. And then they're going to be rotating in towards the middle for that next and more important arc that's going to determine, you know, what's going to actually happen towards the end of this match.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the timer now. There's 6.5 minutes left. And again, these are very experienced teams, right? You got Baba on the VC side, right? Really experienced players. And then you have Slouty, Sibo, on the other end. Like both are part of really great teams in previous past. And I'm looking here with the building stabilized, 6 minutes left. There's a lot of marches on the field. When's the call going to be? Hey, kill your marches off, your low marches, because there's a lot of yellow, a lot of red marches on the field. When is it time for you to reset and send everything middle for the second arc?
And I think you're seeing it right now. I'm looking at it right now. It's very different for Baba. They pulled back a little bit for these marches. I do like what I'm seeing from OV. They tend to do this actually for those additional buffs, especially right before you're going to mid, hitting this Shrine of War. Because hey, additional buffs, you ain't gonna complain about that. But it's forcing VC. It forced them to pull back a little bit in order to make sure that this structure stays secure. But VC, OV are both rotating towards middle. We see 3 altars just tick over on the side of VC. So that
Wow.
the occupation is going to be intense, especially rotating in towards middle.
Oh man, this is a nail biter, chat. This is a nail biter. And VC definitely has people in the middle already, and OV is rotating in now too as well. So this arc's really important for both teams. And I think, based on how I seen the occupation, if VC can take this arc, because they've been flipping those altars a lot on the VC side, this could be it could help us get closer to defining who's going to be the winner.
Yeah. All right. We have to chat. Y'all already start posting it. We got 5 minutes before the next arc spawns. But the conversation, I want to turn it real quick to which skills do you want to see from each respective team, Red, when it comes to Heaven's Grace or to the Death, and kind of what's your personal favorite between the two?
Dude, okay, well, what there's a difference. There's what I know it's gonna happen and what I would love to see. So, I think we're gonna see To the Death. I think we're gonna see Heaven's Grace in here. But I just want one day for someone to throw Bog Down in there for some reason. I don't know why. I want to see a Bog Down. But I think that's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see To the Death, and we're gonna see or Heaven's Grace in the middle. But this is gonna be a defining moment arc.
Yeah, and this is the arc that I think if we're going to see any weird combinations of stuff, it would be on this one. So we're going to check out definitely the March compositions. I know we've seen other combos where they use a ton of Ethels in mid, and don't ask me why it works, but it works for some of these other big teams like 1V. I've seen them use it as well. But we're sticking with the traditional setup. Some Scipios on the side of 1V or 1V, OV, apologies. On the side of OV, we got the Nevskis, the traditional, but not very many XYs on the side that I'm seeing so far. So
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. The Ethelfleds are, I guarantee you, every single Ethelfled there has a Trajan behind it. And majority of teams are using full cav with that just to get there faster with full cav sets or windsweeps, because that debuff is critical and that buff from Trajan is huge. So a lot of these teams are showing that same composition. So I'm gonna call it an even fight, even roster on both ends with the same type of commander usage.
oh man, is this where this is that where the experience where is it going to pay dividends at this point? You got a young team in VC that has been progressively making waves this season in season 6. We got OV, the old guard coming in, but still a top team in their own right. And it's all going to come down to this arc. OV is down by around 1,500 points. This next arc's worth 3,500. If you're OV, you really, really do need this arc. So I'm very intrigued to see what skills each one's going to pop. And, it's in about a minute, we should see the brawl start to ensue with 2 minutes before the arc is going to spawn.
Oh, here we go. It's going to be happening soon. We'll probably see an engagement in a minute. And as we're saying that, if you're looking at mid, Mad Kalav from OV just in there backing up, just hitting the reinforcements, which is great. He's weakening out those marches. So definitely being a thorn in the side for VC.
Oh man, it's like the tension. The tension is real. Like you feel it. Each team needs it. I'm keeping my eyes on the structures right now, and nothing is blinking. So everybody is truly invested in this mid brawl. And oh man, a minute and a half.
I'm looking to see the amount of marches coming in from both sides, and I don't know, but from why do I feel like there's a larger group of OV here in the middle? That's what it looks like, but we'll see we'll see the outcome of this fight.
And as we say that, look, an instant to the death gets popped.
Up there, a counter with 2 to death as well. Out OV with mystical information. War drums, okay. Here we go. Which one succeeds?
Yeah, I'm very interested that OV used to the death. That was actually the team I thought would use Heaven's Grace. I'm very intrigued by that, but we're going to keep our eyes. We've seen sad faces already, Red.
Yep. See, so on the OV side, it was 2 to death and mystical formation. And then on the VC side, it was 2 to death and war drums. So which combination works? Or actually, will win this mid fight?
Oh, man.
The sad faces, it's pretty even to me for now.
Yeah. And it's always a hard judge because we're completely invested in here. I do see an altar blinking on the top screen, but OV, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 14 seconds, the arc's about to spawn. Now we're going to be interested if there's going to be a second wave. I think if you're OV, you're down. You're going to have to send a second wave to come in.
Agreed. I think you keep sending mid. I think you just keep sending mid. If they can at least get the first pull and bring it towards their side, that will be huge. But they need to keep sending mid.
Yeah, and this is where that stall tactic I always talk about comes in, where it's a subtle thing, but if your team can constantly pick up the arc, and as you say that, Red, OV picks up the arc, you get the first snub, he gets taken out. But if you can consistently keep picking that arc up, it just delays, right? Because you pick it up, then it's a 10-second timer to pick it back up. If you can keep doing that, you can constantly rally more troops for more waves and make it more contested. And just like that, I don't know why, but where did all these blue come from? I'm looking. There's so much blue. What?
Oh,
what just happened?
Wow.
What just happened?
If you saw what I saw, but there was a lot of red in the beginning. That mystical formation must have came through. Now the question is, with OV taking the second arc, do you keep sending mid? Do you keep sending mid for VC?
I'm still mind blown by what just, like, I could have sworn the whole screen was red and then it turned blue. And just like that, OV is now running the second arc and they are down by 2,300 points. So they definitely are going to have to, if it was me, I definitely think they need to switch over to occupation because they do not want to let this lead grow more in favor of VC to kind of, add a little bit more oomph to that arc when they capture it and kind of hold it in their pocket. I don't think they want to play with fire and have a third arc because that one was very close and easily could have gone on the side of VC, in my opinion.
Yep. And, as we're talking about that, VC have already transitioned over to structures. If you look at the left side of the map, the Sky Altars, with Fa leading the charge, are trying to take this, at least continue to spread out the gap with this 3,500 arc in the position of OV.
Yeah, and it's very smart that they're targeting those altars first, just because those are your highest point generating per minute structures in the league. So having more of those is always going to be your best bet, especially when you're trying to increase a lead, which on VC, they do have a lead right now by 2,500 points. But like we said, that last arc is worth 3,500 points right now. And we are definitely going to see if OV are going to decide to cap it or if they're going to hold it and kind of, flip over to this occupation game. Cause that's the decision that's going to make or break this game for sure.
Yep. And all structures are being heavily contested now by VC. So the timing is really great from what I'm seeing on all sides of the VC. Like literally, they've definitely made the audible change as the second arc was contested by OV. And right now, I think we're going to see a lot of buildings flipping to red in the next 5 to 10 seconds.
I'm still impressed by how well Jan is holding up. Like we thought Zenobia, especially, this is looking like the feel of a Zenobia last season when you're trying to swarm and it just doesn't look like it's ever going down. But as I say that, I'm watching right now on that bottom side, like you were saying, the Sky Altar getting swarmed down by Pho and everybody and crew and all these structures. Look at the map. It is completely red.
Completely red.
Oh,
It is completely red. So this will help widen the gap a little bit once OV turns that arc in.
yeah. And look at this points per minute, 490 to 130 in favor of VC. All the altars. Well, one just flipped back over in favor, but 3 out of the 4 altars in favor of VC right now. And look, Red. We got a Caesar Garrison on that Sky Altar on the right hand side. Let's go.
Let's go. Full leadership. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And it's holding.
It's holding.
It's gonna hold. Oh, and it held. Oh my goodness. So good. But as we're saying that, all these structures are getting swarmed down. OV is starting to flip back over. Let's look at what this arc runner is going to do. It looks like he is going to park by the obelisk. So looks like the decision was made for them to hold. Let me see. Dude,
they're holding. Okay.
We got a little excited there. Dang.
I mean, the OV altars are both being held by VC, so it could be just waiting to stabilize. But I think if they're gonna do it, they have to turn it in within the next minute or so, or 2 minutes, because you want to get enough time for people to get in the middle. What's the timer for? What's the timer for arc again?
8.
8 minutes.
Yeah.
For pops up. Okay. So, yeah, man, because that last fight in the mid, if they do have a third arc, it's gonna be insane. So you definitely need to get ready for that.
Yeah, and that's what's going to be interesting about this call. I agree with you, because those contested arcs, especially when people are trying to time it up right, can stretch out to like 8 to 10 minutes, and a lot of people will sleep on that, thinking that they're good with a 6-minute arc. But if it gets contested, I've seen matches where it stretches out 8 to 10 minutes of just solid, just dragging back and forth brawls in mid. And so, it's going to be interesting to see. We got 10 minutes on the timer. If they hold it, that's definitely the last arc, because there will be a little bit of time left, but it won't be enough to where even if you contest it for 30 seconds, they're not going to have enough time to run it, even with skills. So
exactly. And Boba, I think it's going to come down to occupation and provisions, my friend, with this. So because they're going to turn this in 3,500 points, right? So that's going to make it about 2,100 to 2,100 if they turn it in now. So it's going to be less than 1,000-point game again between the two teams. And I looked through the map, and both teams have about the same amount of provisioners. I'm sorry. So it's going to be close, man. I'm thinking we're going to see like a 4,500 to 4,500 provision score. It's going to be really close. So the occupation is pretty even on both teams. And I think the provisioning is going to be one that defines the match.
Yeah, and that I'm getting deja vu all over again. This is legitimately what it looked like. It looked like last match. And I remember watching it, saying to myself, I'm like, oh my goodness, it came down to provisioners. And VC and OV both had provision marches that didn't make it in at the last second.
Oof.
So if it comes down to provisions, it's going to be very interesting to see if both of these teams kind of learn their lesson from the last time and really get them in, because it's going back and forth right now. Like you're saying, the occupation, the points per minute is still in favor of VC, but easily could flip back over once these altars start switching back into occupation. So
yeah, this is chat. I hope tells everybody in the community, if you guys are enjoying the match, make sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you guys being here, and congrats to both teams in this match for making it this far. And after this, who goes to top 8, man? And the winner of this match will be facing TR for the next round. So it's the next few weeks are gonna be insane, and excited to be here and excited to watch this with you, Boba.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, man. It's been a doozy of a league so far. I know that we've had some tight matches for sure, some down to the wire. I don't think this one's going to be any different. I know that we're seeing a 3K lead, actually a 3.7. So they increased it quite a bit. So that arc is actually only going to get them nilled up right now. So VC is putting the pressure on them. Then it's going to come down to provisions once again. Oh
Yep.
my lordy. Oh my lordy.
It's gonna come down to provisions, man. It's gonna come down to the provisions. What I've noticed too is that I don't know, but I haven't seen a lot of outpost contesting. Because I think it's gonna come down to that too, where the outposts are gonna give those, even though the points are really low, that could definitely make the difference. Because if this is coming down to provisioning, you definitely need to have people contesting the outposts and just at least switching those points over. Because if you look at the points per minute, it's so close, and 30 points per minute could definitely add up. They can test, even for a couple minutes.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I kind of noticed that as well, and that's very uncommon because a lot of these teams that's actually one of the more annoying parts that you constantly are flipping those outposts just to lower that down. But we haven't really been seeing that for the most part. It's been those high scoring structures, which ideally is what you would like. But VC has been applying the pressure. They are nonstop, foot to the gas going right now. They're constantly forward moving. We got a Matilda spotting. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, Matilda Caesar making the great comeback. Oh man.
Telling you guys, big deal. Caesar's OP.
And VC flip over this Desert Altar right now on the top side, holding 3 out of the 4 red.
Oh my gosh, this is with 18 minutes left in the match. With this arc turned in, it's gonna be too close. And with this, guys, I don't think there's gonna be a third arc, even though we said that we thought one would be. So Obi made a decision like, nope, we're not doing a third arc. We're just gonna focus on structures. And I'm assuming we'll be seeing Insatiable Desire pop up in the next, within the next 10 minutes, Bulba. So it's gonna come down to the provisions and them flipping these structures back and forth over the next remainder of the game.
Yeah, and I definitely know that OV knows exactly what they need to do for Insatiable Desire, because I know the guy who used to be on their voice comms, and man, he would constant reminder, when you pop that skill, you got to jump out, jump back in for it to take effect.
Yep.
And really take advantage of that skill. But yeah, we definitely know that OV is going to use Insatiable Desire for sure, because that is kind of a tool in their tool belt. But I'm not sure if VC uses it. So
they're gonna learn today, because that last match was less than 1,000 points. So I'm sure that they made on the back end, hey, this is what we need to do going forward to make sure that we can win this next game. I'm sure both teams look at game film. Most teams nowadays at this level, when they're at top 16, are probably looking at game film to see, okay, what does the other teams do? What are their strong suits? What are they weak at? So I think these teams have definitely studied each other very well. And are doing everything they can based on what they've seen and experienced from the last match.
Ooh, and just like that, we just saw they were 3 seconds away from getting that tick on the Desert Altar, and OV just flipped it back. So we're back nilled up on the structure game, but it looks like VC have increased their lead. Oh my goodness. Look at the lead right now. Ooh, by
4K, yeah.
4K.
They're still going to be up by 500 points when this arc is turned in, man. And again, each minute, VC is inching away with the lead because of their ability to switch over the structures in their favor. So they're definitely winning the occupation game right now, and it's going to be less than 1,000 point match. I'm calling it right now. To everybody in chat, it's gonna be a 1,000 point match.
Man, and just to think, it's like that's where that question comes in, and we kind of bring it back, where if holding that arc was the play or was it not the play, and we always kind of come back to that. VC's really ramping it up right now. They're up by 4,200 points right now, and it's only growing. So that's something we got to keep our eyes on. I constantly am checking back, and it's still always in favor of VC on that points per minute. Now it's 590 to 440, and OV. It's truly going to be about how good their provisioner is, and seeing where, it's going to come down to the wire, and also double checking to see if VC has good provisioning going on right now as well.
So another thing to consider too, Bob, is that there's about 15 minutes left in the match, 2 minutes left for the arc timer. So they're probably going to turn in the next minute and a half or so, right? So that gives it about 12 minutes left for arc. So what you said, 8-minute timer, so 4 minutes.
Mhm.
So I was thinking, would that be even considered like even go middle to contest anything? Could you deliver an arc to an outpost in 4 minutes?
Yeah. If you're not contested, you can run it in like under a minute and a half. If you have a CC with like Swift Stride running,
Which is
and you're in,
that's my guy's skill right there. That's you.
that's your guy. Yeah, as a guy. With a minute and a half, you can easily run that to an outpost. So you still have to contest it. But you can legitimately do like one wave of it, and it's basically like you're not having to constantly run back and forth. But yes, in 4 minutes, you definitely can run an arc, especially unless you pick it up with like some slow moving infantry march. If it's a CC, you're blazing trails out there.
Blazing trails. Oh man. See now I'm thinking, okay, on the OV side, right? It's a 1,000-point game. VC is doing a really good job at contesting these structures. Like really good job, right? The points per minute is in their favor, obviously, if you look at the score. What is OV going to do here? Like if they can't defend their structures as and stabilizing them, like if they let the timer run out like this, it looks like in favor of VC, unless the provisioning is insane on the OV side.
Yeah, and I'm trying to look right now to see provisioning, and I'm not seeing very much.
I only see one on the OV side.
2 bottom side, 3 top side, so 5 marches provisioning for the side of OV.
This would be interesting, and I see a bunch of gatherers going out right now for VC. So it's, oh man, I don't know. 1,600-point lead right now in favor of VC. So what is OV gonna do, chat, to stabilize this game and come out with the win to advance to the next round? Because VC is definitely making it difficult for the former champions.
Yeah, and with 12 minutes left, this is nowhere near done, right? They're up by 1,700 points right now. The focus for OV needs to be on these altars. That's the way that you're going to steadily claw back, even if they don't pull the lead back. If they can at least get it within rock throwing distance, look at this, within rock throwing distance, then they have a shot, right? Their provisioner is very good. VC might be sending more, which could be an indicator that maybe they are going to do Insatiable Desire as well, to try to get those additional, just the little bit that's going to put you over the top. But yeah, that's something we're going to have to keep our eyes on. The next arc has to be contested, so there will be a rotation that has to occur between these two teams, which could ultimately change it up entirely. It's going to be interesting to see what OV does, because OV actually may need to invest a little bit more into arc to see if they can pull it, but VC will still have to actually contest it in order to prevent.
You go to the mid, Bobo, there is definitely contesting there. So they definitely rotated over. So there's people in the middle now. So VC can't let OV touch his arc and score into the outpost, because with Swift Stride, we're talking about 2 minutes, if anything, to get to the outpost, or sooner. So I'm not too sure, but I mean, the play could be, right, if I was an OV, is send 1 or 2 people or 3 to the middle, this team that we're making a push. And with the amount of marches that are committed to middle right now for OV, so for VC, could they get structures and close the gap? Because look at the score, 710 to 440 in favor of OV.
And I like what OV's doing. So they understand a lot of teams. If you're not going to come in around the 5 minute mark, a lot of people will start rotating super late, like the 2.5 minute mark, when most of the fighting is going to start. And instead they focused on the structures just to get those extra ticks prior to rotating in. So it is going to be very interesting to see, because VC did invest a lot in mid, and as you're going to see, OV is starting to trickle in because they're coming in late from trying to hold those structures. I want to see VC kind of push the envelope on this one, because they do have the numbers advantage on their side, to kind of catch them off guard. But as we look, the lead is still at 1,500 points. OV is steadily pulling them back, but it is a big hill to climb with 10 minutes left in the match.
Yep, 1,500 points. It's gonna be close. BC definitely has the numbers here, and that call you made about should we push the envelope now and engage these guys in mid, that could be the. I'm trying to make the thing that makes me hesitant is the time left. 9 minutes in the match, 3 minutes left to the arc. If you lose this mid fight and they get a pull and your marchers are done, could that be the defining moment where they lose it here? I don't know. Like, because VC's job right now in the middle is to make sure they don't pull it and make sure they don't score it. That's the only thing they need to do.
And I totally understand. That's that flip of the coin that we talk about. You know, do you push numbers? Because OV is always going to be stronger the more people that you get in the ball. So do you take advantage of your numbers of the numbers that you have because you invested early? Do you play the wait and see game where you're forcing them? Because OV is the one, like you're saying, OV is the team that needs this arc. VC does not need it. So they don't need to push the envelope. In that regard, if that's the play that they're trying to do, and it could be, oh man, as we see the emojis starting to get popped, but you know, clearly VC went with the side of, you know, on the side of letting OV have to come because they have to come now. They are down by 2,000 points, so it slightly increased the lead, and this arc is going to be worth 4,000 points, and you know they're going to have 6 minutes to contest it. That's easily enough time for them to wipe and completely send to the outpost. So if you are OV, the name of the game is to completely wipe them as fast as possible and run the arc to the outpost. And if you're VC, you're just swift striding. You're constantly trying to stop the arc over and over and make this a drawn out arc.
And there's only one rally going on right now, and that's OV's rally, but it's not being supported. So OV is fully committing to the mid for this last arc. And the thing that scares me is because there's 8 minutes left, a minute 30 till it pops. If VC can easily stall this. So I don't know, man. The chat, I don't know. I mean, I I don't know what's gonna happen here. It's the timing that's gonna make me go, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and the thing that I'm gonna keep my eyes on, I'm pretty confident that OV will use Heaven's Grace here. I think they had enough time. They might have held for skills. Let's see, mystical.
War drums. And mystical. Slotty using war drums too. Okay. Oh, Heaven's Grace on the VC side.
Wait for it.
Same
there
thing.
It is.
Same thing. Oh,
mending pouch. Insatiable desire. Okay. I wonder if OV is going to have enough skills to pop Insatiable Desire in time. They haven't popped it.
OV didn't. Yeah, just VC did, right?
Yeah, just VC. So that's going to be interesting. There's only 7 minutes left. They might be able to squeak it out at the very end, possibly. But why is it? It looks like blue just got completely consumed by red, and then
we got to be careful there. The last time we said that, Bulba.
Last time we said that, yeah, we got in trouble.
I don't know who gets the first pull. Who gets the first pull?
Oh my goodness, there's so many sad faces going on the side of OV, but I feel like there's so many marches still in here, and the arc has spawned. Let's see who's gonna get the first pull. I'm looking at the indicator right now. Ooh, if you're OV, you really need this.
Can you just really imagine what Discord is right now for both teams?
Yes, OV gets the pull first. It is on their side of the field. They got the first stage.
First step. That's the first step. Yep, that's a good call. Man, Discord in both teams must be crazy right now.
I want to see. I see the indicators already on the arc, and OV scooping it and moving it. Oh,
okay.
Okay.
It's not moving.
Okay. He got melted.
5 minutes. Oh,
dude,
man.
And just like that, look at the mid game. Look at the marches. Look at the colors. What?
Oh my God. OV is taking mid. Okay, so now the play here with 5 minutes left in the match. They have to I don't know. I think the game is they have to stall it. So do you keep sending mid, or do you send them to either side of the desert altar and set a rally on the outpost now? Let me see. Is there a rally on the outpost now from VC side?
I think the further away you get it, the better. Because I can tell you right now, I bet you VC is already, I'm going to check it right now, is already running along. Yeah, look at OV. They are full sending to the arc. They are still sending to the arc. I'm expecting VC to either send through middle or to completely avoid and go through the top. But as I'm saying that, look, they're all coming through middle, and they popped there in all their skill bars, so they can't use Swift Stride on here. And we got 4.5 minutes, plenty of time to capture this arc. If you were VC, all you're trying to do is melt the arc runner. You're just trying to melt him consistently. You're just V-lining directly to the arc runner. But Red, the dangerous part, let us know. What is the dangerous part about taking it to the outpost?
The dangerous part, man, is that if VC can flip it and then score it, or just flip it in general, that's it. That's the thing. But see now, okay, they're contesting it. 4 minutes left. I want to see a rally from them on the outpost.
Yeah, that would be the play right there. I'd like to see that. And but the thing is, right, we haven't seen any sort of outpost action all game long. You know what I mean? Like those rallies should have already been going up already. By the time they get over here, it's going to be super late. And you're already starting to see look at Gambit out here running. Who's running this arc right now? JY. Yeah.
A minute 24 to get to the outpost, it says. So they have about a minute. Because what's the pickup time? 8 seconds?
10 seconds.
10 seconds? Oh my God. Oh, 3 minutes, chat.
And if you're VC, look, they're still full sending through middle, but OV with no wasted time immediately when they drop, they're going down. CCs are picking it up, but the trail of red is coming through.
Oh my gosh, yes. Is there a rally on the outpost?
You know what I want to see on the side of VC? They still have a 2,000 point lead. I almost kind of want them to flip the switch to the structures and just neutralize those for the last 3 minutes, because you know that they're not going to have hard push because they popped all of their skill bar. I do know that they need to lower this down, you know, and try to stall, but you can still do some decent work with 3 minutes left on just no points being scored, because OV is rallying to it right now.
They dropped the arc again, right? 2 minutes and 24 seconds left. I believe it's about a minute march to the outpost. Oh, here we go. Pick up from VC.
And that's what we need. See, if you're VC, that's what you need. That's the stall tactic. Even if you get melted.
Oh my God, look at him. He's going.
He's going. Hit him with the bog down.
That was huge. That was huge.
Yep. Now the indicators, if you're VC, you need a couple more of those. Drag it along. Couple more of those. And
I think VC has this, dude, because look at, they have marchers swarming the outpost. I think VC has this.
We can't sleep. We definitely can't sleep on provisioners. With a minute 45, they should all start coming in fairly soon. You know, and if you're OV, I want to see. There's so many indicators in here. Let's see who's getting it. If it's VC, and it is. They touched it. The stall is in, and just like that, gets melted. Should see the indicators constantly being popped for the side of OV if you are trying to grab this. And this is the danger. This was the danger we were talking about, that stall tactic.
Gatherers are coming in from VC side now. I see them. Let's see. Same thing coming from OV. Oh man. This is close. The arc's done. I don't think anybody can get it. So now, like, are the gatherers going to be the game changer now?
Here it goes.
Provisioning.
VC coming in 39, 35. That was 900 points right there for the first provisioner coming from. I am Crave. Oh man, I can't even pronounce his name. Let's see what this next one comes in real quick. 35.
1,400 points.
But look at the score. The OV provision's coming in too.
Oh man. So is VC's.
Got to look at these. Sorry, chat. I want to look at. Here comes another one. Clutch.
Yeah, the arc. They can't score it. There's no way with the amount of time left they can't score it.
35. They're up by 1,500 points. King James coming in, scoring 700. It is an 800-point lead, ladies and gentlemen. Coming down to the wire. We want to capture this. Oh,
who's that last person? Oh, did he pull?
He ran it away. Oh my goodness.
Who won?
I know I saw the tick for blue.
It's VC. Oh my gosh. GG's to VC56. Holy moly, that occupation score defined it. I mean, but look at OP's provisioning, almost 6K. What a game,
And
Boba.
and that's without Insatiable Desire. Like, just think about that. They never popped Insatiable Desire. That still blows my mind. They used the pouch instead of Insatiable Desire.
I mean, it worked to a certain point, right? But VC was able to counter that by just stalling the arc. Like, I felt like OV had mid, but then it just wasn't enough time. So congratulations to VC56. Holy moly, what a match. And VC advances and defeats the former champions of OV. Boba, what were your thoughts on highlights of the match? Like, it was a close nail biter, but anything that stood out to you?
So I looking at the teletape, I got our cams up right now, my guy, and yeah, just looking at the tail of the tape, bud, you know, occupation, looking, you know, in the kills, even the heals, like it was just an all around clinic. As we're looking at these, the arcs got split 1-1. That third one never got capped, which was huge clutch for VC on their side. Occupation was, as we expected, slightly in favor of VC. They were constantly taking those altars and holding them, and then the provisions coming in. Yeah, man, I still am going to rest. It blew my mind that we didn't see Insatiable Desire from OV. We consistently see that over and over. And that could have been the decider right there as VC pull out the win by 1,200 points at the very, very end. So
God, what a match.
Red, we got it teed up for next week. The storylines are real. VC56 versus TR to see who's going into top 4 in season 6 of Osiris League. What were your final thoughts, Red, before we wrap up and head out?
Again, congratulations to VC. Well played. OV as well. GG's to you guys. And VC advances, man. And VC did very well at flipping those structures and contesting them and contesting the arc, as well as at least keeping the provisioning close to against OV. So it came down to the wire. And you know, I'm part of the TR team, and we really look forward to facing VC because you guys know there's a love story between 556 and 1254, you know, over the last year. So look forward to the match. And good luck to both teams. And then upcoming matches for top 4. It's gonna be great, man. And Boba, it was a pleasure as always to cast with you on the Rise of Kingdoms channel for Osiris League.
I tip my hat to you, good sir, and I appreciate all of the viewers that joined us today. Make sure, if y'all haven't already, subscribe to the official Rise of Kingdoms YouTube channel. That is where all your Osiris League content is going to be heading. Definitely make sure to check our channels out. If you haven't already, they should be in the description below. Red absolutely crushing it. And I'm just a little potato down here. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I appreciate y'all. Make sure to smash that like button before y'all head out. And we'll see y'all on the next matches, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Have a great one, chat.